Here we go.
I'm good right here.
That's not this type of show. Hi, everybody. Wednesday. Welcome to the show, everybody. Good morning. Thank you very much for being here. They are so great. Look at my friend in the front row. Welcome to the show. Thank you. Let's get started. Get that cup of coffee. Welcome to the show, everybody. This crowd is like, I'm telling you, this whole week has been so good. Everybody, it just, you come to work and people clap. That's great. I love that. Anyway, I wish that for all of you. Keep the clapping going for my good friend. It's Kendall, everybody. Hello.
Hi.
How you doing?
I'm doing great.
How you doing?
It's a good day for me because there's wingers in the house, red wingers.
Oh, there's red wingers right there. Oh. Because Kendall's from, that's what you call yourselves, wingers?
Yeah, what's a winger?
I don't know. It's like, I just think of like a chicken wing or something. But
I know.
Yeah.
No, I know. It's like our mascot. It's an eagle.
Oh, got it. Okay.
It's very intimidating.
Wingers, because I'm a Hoosier. That's what we call it. And we don't. I'm from Indiana. I don't know what a Hoosier is. Nobody really knows.
Well,
what
and
a
we're all
Hoosier is.
Gophers, and that's also very intimidating.
Yeah, Gophers. Yeah.
Tear up the yard.
Is that new? Is that a new ensemble?
My shirt?
Yeah, you look really nice.
Typical
I like that.
Kendall fashion. My skirt is from the Goodwill, and my shirt is from my friend Jenny, who was getting rid of it.
Look at that!
So, hi.
It is. It is like hand-me-down Wednesday. I love it. That's
all the time.
I love that.
All the time.
Jenny has good taste.
I know she does. She's
Yeah.
fancy. She got a nice house and she got fancy clothes. So I'm like, yes, please. Giving away some things.
Speaking of fancy, you know, getting old can be rough. And yeah. No, you'll see where I'm going. You'll see where I'm going. So today on the internet, you know, there's always something like, well, a couple weeks ago, what was the bottle top challenge? Where you had to try to kick a...
Oh, yeah, to kick the thing
kick
and
the bottle
thing.
challenge,
We
whatever.
couldn't do it,
Bottle
yeah.
cap challenge, whatever. Today on the internet, if you go on right now, you will see that every celebrity is doing the aging app, where you age your face 30 years, and it's done by this face app. I know, believe me. Now before we show me, I got to tell you, the reason this is making the rounds is this technology is actually really good. Like, they did a really good job. So this is no joke. We have two versions. Here I am. My Talk, my radio station, did this one. So
look at the beard.
That is me in 30 years.
You look pretty good.
I mean, the hairline receded a little bit. The beard's a little grayer. I actually look like my Uncle Ed in that one. Now, before we show the next one, so Dax Holt, you all know Dax from formerly of TMZ, Hollywood Pipeline. I was recently with Dax in LA having dinner, and Dax always likes to play jokes on me. He did this one, which is substantially worse.
Oh, wow.
I look like gay Santa. Yeah,
I was
look
just
at
going to say that.
Yeah, I'm like, hey, I'm here with the presents. But yeah.
Line up.
Yeah, but that, Dax tweeted that overnight, and I just replied, I absolutely hate you. Yeah, so, yeah, Leo, we can take that down now. We can take that down. Hey, coming up at the end of the show, you're going to see what Kendall looks like in 30 years, and producer Ted, all you ladies out there. Yeah. Okay.
Hey.
Before we get to the hot dish, and I didn't tell Jeff that I was going to do this, but can I tell you that I love Kendall like so much. Like, we had instant chemistry. I adore her. I adore this woman.
Is there anything behind me?
No. But yesterday I adored her just about 15% more, because we were in this we were in this post-show meeting, and one of the most popular shows we ever did was a show where we did life hacks, where, you know, we showed you our life hacks, like we made steak, and I showed you my biscuit recipe. So our executive producer, Jeff, said, we should do another life hack show. And Kendall, with this kid-like enthusiasm, she goes like this, she goes, oh, I know my skill. And we're like, oh, great, because we've been waiting. She goes, my skill is I peel a really good banana.
I can peel them really fast. I can. It's like a...
Tomorrow, now save it. We want good ratings all week. So, I mean, save it because America's gonna tune in to show, we want you to show us how you peel a good banana.
That's all I can contribute. I don't know.
Let's get to the hot dish. Here we
go. You just wait, time me. I'll be really good.
Okay. First up, the trailer for the highly anticipated film Hustlers is out. Now, why is this? I know. Why is this highly anticipated? Well, because here, it stars J-Lo, Constance Wu, Cardi B, and Lizzo. They play, juice. They play strippers who end up turning the tables on their customers. Look at this.
I just want to take care of my grandma, maybe go shopping every once in a while.
When I was a kid, I always wanted to work with animals. I was close.
Shake a little ass, you get a little bag.
These Wall Street guys, you see what they did to this country? They stole from everybody. Hardworking people lost everything. And not one of these douchebags went to jail.
The game is rigged, and it does not reward people who play by the rules.
It's like robbing a bank, except you get the keys. Are you in?
We are in. So, here's the skinny. Here's the skinny. The movie is based on a real-life story, and unlike other stripper-centric movies, that's a term I've never said on this show before.
It's a new one.
Unlike other stripper-centric movies, this one is directed by a woman, and it hits theaters in September. So, yeah. It's written by a woman, too? Oh, it's written by a woman. I love how director Leo takes shots of the dudes in our audience after the stripper
They're
video.
real happy
Yeah,
right now.
right,
They're, you know.
The guys are like, I was drug here to the Jason show. Now I'm really happy I'm here. Yeah. Next in the dish, Beyonce fans got a little surprise overnight. She debuted the video for her newest single from the Lion King soundtrack. Now, this is an original song called Spirit. Look at this. Regardless of whether you like the song, and I like the song, that's a beautiful video. That is, reminds me of Janet Jackson's Runaway a little bit, the locations. Anyway, if you haven't downloaded it yet, the soundtrack for The Lion King is out. I downloaded it while I was on vacation. It is so good. It is so good, y'all. Hakuna Matata with Seth Rogen and Billy Eichner is so funny. It's so good. Now, Beyonce, if you don't know, stars as Nala in The Lion King, which will be released in just tomorrow night, actually. It'll be in selected theaters. I know, and critics are not liking it because they're mad that it's basically just a redo of the animated feature. My question is, what do they expect? But I was shocked, I was gone, and I came back. Guess who didn't like it? My radio co-host Alexis didn't like it.
Really?
Yeah.
Why? Did
Bambi
she say
didn't
why?
like it. I call her Bambi, but yeah. Lex likes everything, and she didn't like it, so...
Why?
I don't know. We're fitting to fight on Friday, though, because I think I'm going to like it, so...
Oh, I'm gonna like it.
Yeah, we're
I'm
gonna
gonna
cry.
like it.
I'm gonna bring
We're gonna cry.
We're gonna cry. I'm gonna bring goobers, a banana. It'll be great. Next in the dish. New details emerging about the live-action remake of The Little Mermaid. Now, I'm excited about this one. According to Variety, Harry Styles is in talks to play the role of Prince Eric, opposite Halle Bailey, who will play Ariel. Now, this is not a done deal yet, but talks between Harry and Disney are moving along. It'll happen. Harry had been up for the role of Elvis in the Elvis biopic we talked about yesterday, but was passed over for that dude, Austin Butler. Melissa McCarthy is said to be in final negotiations to play Ursula. Yeah. Thank you. Yes, please. No word yet on when production will get underway. And I gotta say this, this erupted while I was on vacation, and I just got mad. And maybe some of you will disagree, but I feel real strongly about this. All the uproar about the casting of Halle Bailey as the Little Mermaid, just because she's a young lady of color, boggled my mind. Because I need to remind folks, mermaids are mythical creatures. I mean, they can be in any color. And look, the fact of the matter is, there's been 30, 40 Disney princesses, and only 4 of them are people of color. I think we can let a princess be a woman of color. I think the world will be all right.
Right. Well, and she's Danish. She's like based off a Danish character, and that doesn't just mean that she has red hair and is white.
No,
like,
it's just, yeah.
Doesn't mean that at all.
It made me really sad, because it's like, we're not taking away, we still have the animated, this animated version still there, for heaven's sake. I don't know. And again, let's keep in focus, we're getting upset about a mermaid.
Yeah,
I'm just
and
saying,
she's beautiful.
And she's a talented young lady.
She's so good at singing.
And you know what I think of? We got to go, but I just think, I know what it felt like when Will and Grace came on TV, and I saw someone on TV that reflected who I was. I think about a little girl of color sitting there, and her whole childhood, she's just watched Disney princess after Disney princess that doesn't look like her. I think of the 7-year-old little girl sitting there at a movie with her mom, and she looks up on the screen, and she sees a Disney character that looks like her. That's magic. I mean, that's you know what I mean? She's that little girl. Yeah.
All the feels.
Yeah. That little girl should have the same opportunity that Kendall had and I had. I'm just saying. Lots more to come, everybody. We'll be back after this.
More Hot Dish is headed your way. Coming up next, is Leo finally giving his opinion on the pop culture question of the 90s? Was there room for him on that piece of wood at the end of Titanic? Find out what he said just ahead. Then our etiquette expert is back. Today, kids and manners. Tips on raising polite little ones in 2019. Plus, she's answering your etiquette questions on our Facebook page. And I'm usually the one that's a fish out of water. Not today. Kendall is in the water. She learns to log roll. That's coming up.
Guillermo, unfortunately, Joseph, Guillermo's about to go on break, so I'm going to pass you off to one of our junior stylists.
You're kidding.
All yours, Shaq.
How are you?
Shaq, I've never seen a barber taller than the barber pole.
Yes. How are you? What's your name?
Joseph, that's Shaquille O'Neal. He's going to be cutting your hair, okay?
Ready? Yeah. Pay attention.
All right. Your hair is about to go kazam. Shaq, have you ever given a haircut before?
Yes.
Whose hair have you cut?
LeBron James.
You did? Are you the one who gave LeBron that perfect hairline? Wow, this is a wonderful look.
This stuff right here is called the arm rest. See, I can rest my arm right there.
Oh my goodness. Oh, no.
He looks like he's gonna cry.
He had really good hair. He had great hair. It'll grow back, but anyway, that's Shaquille O'Neal filling in as a barber. Oh, he looks like that villain from Dick Tracy. You know, that, I can't think, Flat Top or what, anyway. Next in the dish, Dorit from The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills was on Andy Cohen last night, yeah. What was that face, Jace? Referencing recent reports about some financial problems. Look at this.
You think you owe Camille an apology now that it came out that your bank account has been frozen?
God, no. And that's not even true.
Do you, what, that's not true.
No, not the way it's been blown up in the press.
Was your bank account frozen?
No.
Okay.
No.
Anything else you can add about it?
No, I can't really.
Does this have to do with the Beverly Beach lawsuit?
No, it has nothing to do with Beverly Beach. It's an ongoing issue that PK's had, and this was our bank account that I actually stopped anything from happening, and the judge decided to wait until the situation, things become more clear, and that's it.
Okay.
It has nothing to do with what Camille was saying, and no, I certainly do not owe Camille an apology.
She has paper airplanes covering her boobies.
That's weird.
She had paper airplanes covering her boobies.
I was gonna wear that today, but I was like, this could be really awkward if I wear that and she's wearing it.
Oh my goodness.
I know.
What was that? It's like the Grace Jones collection, you know?
I don't know.
Oh.
And the sleeves were like little crab hands.
Yeah, she did. She looked like Junice from Saturday Night Live because she had little bitty hands out of these big sleeves. She looked like a wizard.
Well, let's not get the wizards involved.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to offend the wizards out there. But anyway.
They're watching.
I don't believe her. Something's up with those two. Yeah, I know this. I love Beverly Hills and I love New York. Those are the two franchises I watch. Dorit is, I'm sure she's lovely. But she's my least favorite. Like, I'm sad. She's my least favorite Beverly Hills housewife. If she left and moved to like Sacramento, I wouldn't care. You know? Yeah.
I'm sure she's lovely.
I don't like her. I think she's just more, she doesn't bring anything to the show other than an annoyance.
And clothes, lots of clothes.
Lots of clothes, and that, I mean, and also, she looks a little different than she did last season. Yeah.
Are you talking, she's got bubbies? Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, that.
Ooh, girl. Oh, I got
That's
makeup
where all
all
the
over
money
my hands.
went.
Yeah, anyway. That's where the money went. Anyway, next on the dish, it's one of the biggest questions of the last 2 decades. Why didn't Rose scoot over and let Jack on that piece of wood after the Titanic scene? Yeah. Leonardo DiCaprio was asked about it recently. He was there doing press for another movie, and he did quite the tap dance. Look at this.
Okay, biggest movie controversy of all time. Could Jack have fit on that door at the end?
Oh my gosh, I thought it. I remember bawling my eyes out when I was
I have no
a girl.
comment. That's telling, I think.
No comment. Okay, now look at that piece of wood right there. Now, if she would have went in the fetal position, he could have gotten into the fetal position, balanced the wood out, and they would have been fine. Except she's all sprawled out like she's on a lay-flat seat on a Delta One flight. You know what I mean? You can't be all spread out.
Yeah.
Your boyfriend is in the icy waters of the Atlantic getting hypothermia, and you're acting like you're on a Craftmatic adjustable bed.
Are you? A Craftmatic?
Yes!
Okay.
I never noticed how spread out she is on
like,
that thing.
She's like, my board.
Yes!
Yeah, she could have big spoon, little spoon. They would have kept each other warm, you know.
Yeah. I don't know. And there he is, and she's like, never let go, and then he lets go. I mean, you know.
Well, after it's like, I can't, and you're frozen in my hand. Actually.
Yeah. And then, I love the irony of, I'll never let go, Jack. 2 seconds later, she lets go!
She lets go!
Yeah.
She's a liar.
Her last thing that she says to him is, I'll never let go, Jack. Bloop. You know?
Oh, he's not listening anymore?
Yeah.
We got feelings.
We got feelings about this one. You know how I get in winter? You know, there's always a couple days in the winter. I'm so weird. Like when it's about, I think it was that night, it was about like 20 below zero or something. I don't know. But whenever it's really cold outside, every so often I think about this. It comes across my mind. I think about the survivors of the Titanic, and my family thinks I'm really goofy. I do when it's really cold because I think I'm cold and I'm wrapped up in a Columbia jacket. They're cold and they were in the Atlantic.
I feel like we need to talk about this at some point.
I do with my therapist. Still ahead, everybody. We're having some fun with emojis. It's game time, and then sit straight up and bring your manners because the etiquette expert Julie France will join us when we come back. Back after this. Welcome back, everybody. Today is a day to celebrate. Today is a day to celebrate emojis. I don't know if you know this, but today is World Emoji Day. And we're celebrating by putting some of our audience members to the test. Leo, roll it. It's game time. Here we go. And we're playing a Jason Show classic. We love this one. It's called the Emoji Game. I'm going to show you a series of emojis describing, don't think it's a literal thing, describing a movie, TV show, or song, and you have to guess what it is. Please welcome our first audience member. It's Dara, everybody. Come on over. Come here, sweetheart. Give me a hug. I love you. I love you. Where are you from?
I'm from Minneapolis.
Oh, fantastic. I like your ensemble. You are very stylish.
Thank you.
I love it.
Thank you.
Okay, so here we go. You're going to look at that monitor right there where you see the two of us.
Okay.
This is a movie, okay?
Okay.
So there's the emoji puzzle. Leo, put it up. What is that?
Oh, Lion King.
Lion King is right. Thank you. We'll see you right over there. You get a mug. Okay, next is Julie, everybody. Come on over. Hi, Julie. How are you? Where are you from?
Bayport.
Okay, now, Julie from Bayport, this is a song or movie. Look at this puzzle right there.
Rocket Man.
Yes, it is! You get a mug. Go see Aaron right over there. Okay, I think Jeff made these a little too easy today. There we go. Let's see Stephanie. Come on over, Stephanie. Hi, sweetie.
Hi.
Come a little bit closer. There we go. There you are right there. Now, Stephanie, let's see. You have TV show. Look at this puzzle. What is that?
Wheel of Fortune.
Yes, Wheel of Fortune. You get a mug. There we go. Okay, let's welcome Cassie. Come over here. Is it Casey or Cassie?
Cassie.
Cassie, okay. Look right on that monitor. This is a movie. No, song.
Walking on Sunshine.
Walking on Sunshine is right over there. Oh, Jeff. Okay, Alicia, come on over here. Hi, Alicia.
Hi.
Alicia, you have a movie. Look at that one. What is that?
Oh, no.
That is describing, I will tell you this
Devil Wears Prada.
Prada, yes! Right over there to get your mug. Okay, let's say hi to Kelly. Come on, Kelly. Hi, Kelly.
Hi.
Kelly, you have a TV show. Look at the puzzle right there. What is that? The game show, I'll tell you that.
Show?
Howie Mandel hosted it.
Oh, I haven't watched it.
Briefcases.
Make a deal. Let's make a deal.
No.
Deal or no deal?
Yes! Go right over there. Come on over. There we go. Hi, Chris. Hi, sweetie. Okay, here we go. Song. Look right there. Song.
Ooh.
That's describing the music video, kind of.
All the single ladies?
Yes! Right over there. Now, we have one more, but she's going to get a mug anyway, but we're out of time. But you're getting a mug anyway. There we go. Still ahead. Still ahead, everybody. It's manners time with the etiquette lady, Julie Friends. She's here. She's going to help you whip your children into shape in no time. And then Kendall gave log rolling a spin. We'll show you how, well, we saw how that turned out. We'll be right back, everybody, back after this. Sorry we didn't get to you. Welcome back, everybody. Well, yesterday I talked about some kids on an airplane that still give me nightmares, and that is a perfect segue into our next guest, who would whip those kids into shape in no time. Here to talk about kids etiquette is one of our favorites, Julie France from the St. Paul Hotel, everybody.
Thank you.
We have a lot to get to, but I always like to start with a compliment. We get such a great response from you, and I want to say, not only because you give great information, but I think people are just yearning for just good old-fashioned, a return to good old-fashioned manners, don't you?
I agree. I agree, yes. You know,
because there's a severe lack of it right now.
There certainly is, and that's why I think I'll always have a job, because you're right. You know, we just need to keep reminding people this is how we should behave.
Yeah.
But I want to say, welcome back from Hawaii.
Thank you.
It looked like a wonderful trip.
It was.
I enjoyed the pictures, I saw the food, I saw the drinks, and now it makes me want to go to Hawaii. I've never been there.
It's fabulous. Yeah. Okay, let's talk about going places, trips, and such. Preparing kids and grandkids to be guests at others' homes.
Right, very important. And the most important thing is, you know, relay your expectations. And what I would tell kids is, first of all, when you get to the door, you stand up straight, you look them in the eye, you introduce yourself. Let the child bring the hostess gift. When they step in, children should always wipe off their shoes, adults too, but then children should say, would you like me to remove my shoes? If they're doing an overnight guest, don't come in and just sprawl everything all over, but say, where would you like me to put my things? During the entire stay, they don't ever take, they don't snoop, they don't assume, but they should always ask their host, is it okay to do this? I need some shampoo. But that's another thing. My husband and I have had out-of-town guests forever, and we love it. But it's very helpful when people bring their own supplies so that you're not having to supply shampoo, deodorant, everything else in addition to trying to feed them. So I think it's just relaying the expectations, that they have an attitude of gratitude while they're there, and that again, they just offer to help up, and they keep their things neat together, and they're just a delight to have.
What if you're staying overnight? You're staying overnight at someone's house, whether you're a kid or not. What do you do with the linens afterwards? You sleep in the bed. What do you offer? What's the proper thing to do?
The right thing to do, of course, is to say to the hostess, what would you like me to do with the bed linens?
Yeah.
And if she says, oh, don't worry about it, leave it, your goal is to leave that room nice and neat. So you would take the sheets off, pull the comforter up, and then just leave those sheets at the foot of the bed. Don't take a bunch of laundry, meander around the house, go downstairs, try to figure out, you know, where to go. Just leave them at the foot of the bed.
What is the perfect, you know, that the saying is like, guests are like fish. After a few days, they start to smell. What is the perfect amount of time for you to stay at someone's house?
You just said it. After 3 days, both fish and company stink. Yes, yeah. And again, I can relate it back. I mean, do you have a lot of house guests that stay numerous nights?
Yeah, I enjoy it. And I just stayed at my friend Haley's house for like 5 days, but I asked in advance.
Right,
and we only see each other like once or twice a year.
So it definitely depends on the relationship. But I know as a hostess that after 2 nights and 3 days, I've been cooking, entertaining you, and I'm kind of tuckered out now, and I'm ready to say bye-bye.
Yeah. So what is a proper way? What should I be sending Haley right now? What's a proper way to thank a host?
Well, first of all, you were in her place.
Yeah.
And so you should have a pretty good feel for, does she like to cook? Does she like wine? And then have something sent to her as a hostess thank you gift. So you can either arrive with a gift, and then if you want to wait and kind of see what their decor is or whatever, you can send one later. It's certainly appropriate.
Now, how do you deal? Now, you described the perfect child, you know, coming in and wiping their feet. How do you deal? How do you deal with an unruly child in your home?
Okay, you need to have a plan. P-L-A-N. The P stands for put away anything that is extremely valuable to you. Like I have a beautiful china set, and trust me if I have little ones coming over, because accidents happen.
Yeah.
So first of all, put away anything that is really important to you. The L stands for lay out an area for that child where they can play, eat, create. I try to go buy some little toys for them or whatever that will be new, but an area for them. The A is for you act as the cruise director. You set the rules, you tell them what's acceptable, you tell them what they can do, what they can't do, and then the N is for never criticize, but you say things like, Susie, we don't run in this house. Tommy, we don't eat with cookies and run all over the house. We sit up to the table. And so you're constantly just kind of reminding what your rules are in your home. It's your home. And you should not have to spend a week cleaning up the debris from one little wild thing child that was in your home.
Well, there is. That's a perfect place to end right now. We do have to go. We have more with Julie in a minute, but I will say every time I do a segment with you about kids, I always get very thankful for my mother.
Yes.
And I say this a lot on the show. My mother raised me with a lot of values, and one of the most important ones, she always looked at me and said very bluntly, I never want adults to dread your presence.
Absolutely.
And so she raised me. When I was around grown-ups, so hearing about little demon children, I'm going to look in the camera right now and say, Mom, I am grateful for you.
Yes.
Let me say that, We'll have more with Julie coming up. She's answering your etiquette questions, but first, Kendall channels her inner lumberjack. I didn't know Kendall had an inner lumberjack. But anyway, she tries log rolling, and we'll see how this goes when we come back. Back after this. I am. everybody. Don't forget, more with Julie in a little bit, and at the end of the show, don't miss it. We'll get to see what Kendall's gonna look like when she's 80. Anyway. From swimming and boating to sailing and fishing, there's plenty to do on Minnesota lakes in the summer. But how about log rolling? The Three Rivers Park District's Log Rolling Club is back for another year, and I was like, no, let's send Kendall. Take a look.
It's a beautiful day here at Bryant Lake Regional Park. We're here to log roll.
Yes.
Heather, you're going to teach me how to do this, but I want to know first, like, what made you decide that you should bring log rolling to the Metro?
Log rolling is something that has a really cool past in the state of Minnesota. Back in the 1800s, the lumberjacks were cutting down trees way up north. They would take all of those logs, put them into the river, and float them down to the Minneapolis-St. Paul area to build buildings and whatnot. Eventually, logs would get jammed up. The lumberjacks would have to get out on the logs, and they would have to learn really fast how to be a good log roller because
or else you die.
Else you die. Lumberjacks were like, hey, like, I'm better at log rolling than you are, and eventually they would start competing against each other.
Make it into a contest, of course.
Exactly, yep. And then those men just kind of passed it on generation after generation, and now it's become it's fun, and so it's just a fun sport.
I think my favorite part about this whole piece is going to be the fact that before we got here, I was watching, your son was one of the guys that was doing this.
Yeah.
They've got, like, I'm going to refer to them as 14 and under, and they're like killing it, and I'm going to be like a floundering mess. I'm getting my own private lesson, but folks at home, you can actually take classes to do this.
Yep, we have classes coming up still this summer at a couple of different parks. So if you go to threeriversparks.org and type in log rolling on our programs page, you can find the different options that we have for families and for youth.
What is like the 101 first thing I need to know before I get out there?
Okay, I'm gonna draw like a fake log in the sand real quick. Just a short little log for you.
It's a good size,
That's
good
a good size log. You don't want to be looking at your feet. They're not going to go anywhere. Your head weighs a lot, and so if you're looking down at your feet, you're going to fall off. The three things you want to keep in mind are looking over your shoulder, moving your feet really small, really fast
like
steps.
Little baby feet?
Just little baby, yes, perfect, just like that.
Here's my fake log.
Yep, so there's your fake log. So baby steps, just stay relaxed. That's it. That's all I'm going to tell you to start. Stay relaxed, move your feet, and look over your shoulder. Don't look at your feet, okay?
Nothing could possibly go wrong.
No, not at all.
Okay, step one.
Take 1 foot. We're holding it for you. We're going to hold it as still as we can. Okay, do that. All right, now start moving your feet.
Okay.
Tiny little steps, tiny little steps.
Tiny little steps.
Tiny little steps.
Tiny little
Tiny
steps. This is way harder than y'all made this look, okay? I'd like a refund.
Yeah, that was good. That was really good. You're getting towards the step where we'll let go.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Oh, that was good.
That doesn't win the race.
Steps. Tiny little quick steps.
Oh my God. I'm doing great, guys. I'm doing great. I feel like I'm being held back by this microphone, so we're gonna take it off, and then I'm gonna let it rip, and I'm gonna be on there for at least 4 seconds.
But there's never been a head injury in log rolling, so that's a good thing.
Did you hear that? There's never been a head injury in log rolling. Okay.
Yeah.
Very reassuring.
Yep. Thanks, Heather. Yep. Oh my gosh. 6 seconds. That was awesome.
Oh, you did it! Kendall joins you now. You did it!
I did it. It was really, really fun. It was, I mean, it honestly was a little bit harder than it looked. Evan was asking me before, he was like, I'm really surprised how bad you were at that because you're kind of like athletic. And I'm like, well, I mean, one, you know, I just had to ham it up. I'm not that bad, guys.
But you're athletic. I mean, but you are athletic.
I am, and it really was kind of hard, but it was really fun.
Well, yeah, I'm not athletic,
You
and
did
I
it.
did it a couple years ago with Miss Shannon. Here we are. Oh, this was horrible. This was such a bad day.
Your
and there we are.
hands.
Look, I know. We
Forget you, Shannon.
I let her fall, man. I was like, no, we will sacrifice Shannon there. But yeah, it is much harder. Point being, it is harder than it looks. So go get lessons.
But it really is like addicting. Like I wanted to keep going, but I was like, I should go. You guys don't want to wait here for me anymore.
Exactly. More with our etiquette expert, Julie France. We're taking actually your questions when we come back. Back after this. That's good. The mic. Welcome back, everybody. Julie's back from the St. Paul Hotel. Julie's back from the St. Paul Hotel. I always like to give a plug because the St. Paul Hotel, it's just, if you guys need a great staycation, go there. It's fantastic.
Absolutely.
We have great questions today, so I want to get to as many as we can. Donette wrote to us on Facebook. She asked, if you can't remember someone or their name, should you say something or pretend you know? That's a great question.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
You know, first of all, it happens to all of us where we see somebody, we should know their name, and we're like, oh my word. So here's 3 things, once again, you can do. Start out by introducing yourself. Good to see you again. Julie France with Everyday Etiquette.
Yeah.
Then if you're with somebody, and of course you should know their name, so when I'm with my husband, I go, good to see you again. Have you met my husband, Gary? Now, my husband knows that I don't know their name. Yes.
I do this too!
Yes. And so then he'll say, nice to meet you. I'm sorry, I didn't catch your name.
Yeah.
Well, of course he didn't catch the name because I didn't know it. So then give them a gift, give them your name, and then the third thing you can do is say, I remember our conversation. I am so sorry. I'm just totally blanking on your name. And just admit that you've forgotten their name.
I have a code that I say with my best friends if someone's approaching and I don't remember them. I say a word. I have a secret word, and they know to step in and do that.
Exactly. Just introduce yourself.
Yep. Next is Stephanie. Hi, Stephanie. She asks, is it acceptable for people to throw themselves a baby shower or for a second or third child? Also, do you bring a gift to a gender reveal party?
Well, regarding gender reveal party, kind of in the category with an engagement party, this is not necessarily a gift. It's more a celebration. You're sharing some very happy news. So it's not kind of something that you would bring a gift for if you don't want to. If you really want to, of course you can, but it's typically not done.
Okay.
Now, as far as can you host a baby shower for yourself, you should never have a bid for gifts. But what you can do is that you can say, from 3 to 5, I would love for you to stop over and sip and see. And in this case, we're not sipping wine, we're going to sip tea, okay? So you can stop by, see the baby, have a cup of tea, and then be on your way. Once again...
Could we do the wine, though, Julie?
Well, the mom probably would like to do the wine, yeah.
If it's like the 3rd or 4th baby, I'm going to need something.
The tea.
I'm going to need something to motivate me to get there, right? Next one, Deborah. I know it's a breach of etiquette, but how do I handle this? In-laws telling me via email how much their granddaughter is expecting for her good grades.
Thanks for sharing that information. Click. And can I just bring up this point? Never, unless you want to ruin a relationship, don't be telling other people how to spend their money. That is dangerous ground. Don't say, we're planning this, you have to pitch in this much, you've got to do this or give your child this much. Don't be doing that because it'll ruin relationships. Mind your own business. You want to give that grandkid money? Go for it.
Yeah.
But don't be telling other people how much to give.
I couldn't agree with you more. Janie asks, how soon is too soon to leave an evening party? I love an early bedtime. Janie and I could be friends.
Yes, absolutely. I think first going into the event, always give them a heads up and say, as you know, I have a very early start to my day, would love to come, but the rule of protocol is you should stay 1 hour after dinner has been served so it doesn't look like you're dining and dashing.
Okay, 1 hour. Before we get to the next one, I want to, because I don't want to run out of time.
Yes.
I bring them up so much that I want some resolution for you and the viewers. I bring up these demon children that were on my flight.
And I wanted to ask about it.
Yeah, the demon children that were on my flight. Right. The little girl put her nasty feet on the monitors. Were tripping people, throwing their garbage on the floor. This happened through the entire 5-hour flight.
Right.
What should I have done?
Well, first of all,
and the parents sat by and watched this happen.
And whose fault is this really? It's the parents.
Yeah.
Manners are actively taught and they're modeled. So when I see what you call a demon child, usually you can see the mom on there on the phone totally oblivious that chaos is running all over the place.
Yeah.
And so first of all, what you can do is give a glance to the mom. If she's just in, La La Land, forget it. If the child is truly disrupting people, then you need to call the stewardess over and say, look, this is really bothering me.
Needs to be removed.
Right. But they need to say something.
Yeah.
Now I have learned this on long flights, okay? Because you know what, people? Flying is not for the faint of heart anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, when many years ago, first flight, it was glamorous, it was so much fun, there was protocol, there was decorum. It's out the window.
Yeah.
And so now it's every man for themselves. So I make sure I have, earphones, neck pillow, things, and I'll tell you one other little thing I do. Bring a little hanky with some nice smells on it, because I'm telling you, people eat food and bring food that stinks to high heaven, and you're stuck. You're stuck. And so
the hanky wouldn't have helped me with the children of the corn, let me tell you. One more question Lindsay asked. As a single lady, I don't ask about my friends' marriages, so why do people ask about my dating status?
Right.
It's kind of rude, right? That's a good question.
Right. So we've talked about this before. Never exchange rude with rude, but you smile and you say, why do you ask? And by the way, how's your family? And you just, again, change the subject. You do not have to ever answer a question that is inappropriate. But again, don't be rude. Maybe they're just caring, but they don't know how to really show it through asking you questions.
Yeah.
So again, I've learned, I always just say, why do you ask? I get asked all the time, how much do you weigh? What size clothes do you wear? How tall are you?
Seriously?
Yeah. And so I just look and say, why do you ask? And then just go on to another subject. I'm certainly not going to turn around and go, by the way, how much do you weigh?
Yeah. Well, I had an Aunt Betty Lou that throughout my teenage years and throughout my early adult would always go in front of everybody, would be like, why doesn't, is Jason dating any girls? Why isn't Jason dating any girls? And I got so sick of it one day, we were at a family gathering and I was in a mood. And she goes, Jason, why aren't you dating right now? And I go, because I'm as gay as a picnic basket. And then that ended it right there. Give it up for Julie France, everybody. Check out her.
Did she pass out?
I was never invited back to Betty Lou's. Check out her social skills for success camp. This is great right there. It's at the St. Paul Hotel on July 31st for kids 8 to 15. And for that family on that plane, I'll pay for you to go to that class. For more information, head to stpaulhotel.com. Still ahead. Wait until you see what Kendall and producer Ted will look like when they're 80 years old when we come back. Back after this. Welcome back, everybody. Kendall joins me again. I just have two compliments. First, how good is Julie? Seriously, how good is Julie France?
She's so good.
I could have her on here every single day, and I really mean this from the bottom of my heart. I always say I'm appreciative of anybody that comes to see our show live, but I gotta say, this audience today, I want them to come back every single day. They have been fantastic, yeah. So, at the top of the show, I told you about that face app that you're going to see on your social media feeds today. Everybody's aging themselves. It ages you 30 years. You saw me at the top of the show. Well, without further ado, here is Kendall at 70 or 80 years old. Let's see.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, first of all, I love that we picked the beer wench photo. I mean, I just...
What?
And number two, you look exactly the same.
I look like a mean witch.
No, you
like
look...
a mean beer witch.
You look the same. Now, I haven't seen this, and I can't wait. We have producer Ted at 70. Oh
Ladies, line up.
Oh my God, that is the best thing in years.
His grandchild.
Oh, Ted. Oh, look at Ted.
Are you crying?
I am.
That's crying.
That's Ted. Ted's gonna be hot in the retirement village, man. Ted is gonna be getting all the latest. That's right.
Oh my gosh.
Tomorrow on the show, Christopher Straub is back, featuring cool products from local artists ahead of this weekend's Minnehaha Falls Art Fair. Plus, the latest Kendall tries her 9 to 5. This time, Kendall becomes a quilter. That's tomorrow. That's gonna do it for us. If you're watching right now and you're a kid that's being bullied, you go out there and be yourself, because nobody can tell you you're doing it wrong. Have a great day, everybody.